Hello everyone, I just wanted to spend about 15-20 minutes going over the uniform policies for Barron's restaurant. I do get a lot of questions, so hopefully I can go over the guidelines briefly and then spend a few minutes answering your questions. Of course, if you have additional questions, don't hesitate to email me or come by and see me. We do have two separate uniforms. We have our front of house uniform and our back of house uniform. Anytime you are assigned to a position in the front of the house, so you're either a server, a host, or hostess, you will wear the same uniform that is prescribed for front of the house. This consists of a black long sleeve button up shirt, black slacks, black socks and shoes, a name tag, and 3 clicking pins. Couple of things that come up with these items. The shirt and name tag will be purchased from Barron, so please do not go out and pre-purchase a long sleeve black button-up shirt. I want everybody to have exactly the same shirt, so you will purchase this and the name tag from me. Together they will be $20. You can either pre-purchase these over the next 2 weeks, or you can purchase and pick them up the 3rd week of class. You do need to have your shirt and name tag paid for and picked up no later than February the 4th, which is a Monday. We open February the 5th. I would suggest picking your shirts up in advance because they come in packaging and are very wrinkly. Ironing does not get those wrinkles out. You actually need to wash it and dry it and then go ahead and iron it. I do ask that all shirts and chef's coats be pressed. All pants need to be pressed. You need to be looking professional and very sharp. If you come in and your shirt is wrinkled, I will send you home for the day and you will lose all your points for that particular lab. I want my team looking sharp, and that is why I'm so strict with our uniform policy. For the slacks, you need to be wearing black pants, and these cannot be black jeans, not black sweatpants, plain black, nice dress pants, no pinstripes, no designs on those whatsoever, just plain black. For the shoes, they do need to be non-slip shoes. You do have to wear non-slip both in the front of the house and the back of the house. You don't need to have 2 separate pairs of shoes. You can wear the same pair. And then for the front of the house, you need to have 3 clicking pins. I don't like the pins that have the caps that can be removed. Those can fall into food and become a food safety concern. So they need to be clicking, and they need to be either black or blue. I don't spend a lot of money on these. People don't, I don't think intentionally, but you get to talking and you put it in your bag. Or if you buy a really nice pen, people may say, "Oh, I really like this pen. I'm going to keep it." So don't spend a lot of money on those, especially if you want them back. I don't make you wear a belt, but if you need one or you feel more comfortable with a belt, feel free to wear one. It does need to be black, and it needs to have a very simple buckle, no bling, nothing too big that would make you stand out from the crowd. For the back of the house uniform, you will wear this anytime you are assigned to a hotline position, cold line, or to dishwasher. This uniform consists of a white chef's coat, black chef's pants, a white chef's hat, like the one you see to the right. It needs to be the poofy kind. Again, the black socks and shoes and the name tag. And you don't necessarily need a pen. It's nice to have a pen in the kitchen, but you do need to have a thermometer. Digital oral dial thermometer is fine. The digital ones work a lot faster, but it's really up to you what you want to spend your money on. A couple questions that come up with the back of the house uniform. The chef's coat. No, it cannot have colored buttons. It cannot have colored piping. It cannot have any other logo other than the Conrad and Hilton logo. You can purchase those from Cougar Grounds. Otherwise, it needs to be a plain white chef's coat. The only exception to this that I will allow is if your name is embroidered into the coat. But if it has any other logo with that, like let's say you work at a restaurant currently and your coat is white and it has the restaurant's logo on it, that would not be permissible because I do want us to look like a team. Same thing with the pants, no stripes, no houndstooth. They just need to be plain black chef's pants. Just like I don't like you wear chef's pants in the front of the house, I will not allow you just to wear slacks or regular black pants in the back. The chef's pants are a thicker material and will help protect you more from burns and spills if that were to happen. The same non-slip shoes. And then I do have you wear a name tag, whether your name tag is embroidered on your jacket or not. I make sure that you have to have a name tag just to be fair to everyone, so that everybody is considered in uniform with all pieces of their uniform present. I'm going to go into a little bit more detail with stuff. Here is an example. In the top picture, the gentleman is wearing a white chef's coat with the Conrad and Hilton logo. That is permissible. Otherwise, it needs to be more like the bottom picture where it's completely white. Ball caps are not allowed. Do-rags are not allowed. Skull caps, not allowed. Simply just the white poofy hat. The reason I have that is I want ladies to have their hair completely concealed up in the hat. We don't want hair hanging out. Kind of defeats the purpose of having a hat. And if hair is hanging out, it can still get into the food. So in order for us to all look the same, girls need to have the poofy hat to get their hair up in it, and then guys have to match. You'll notice a gentleman to the right wearing a full black uniform. That is Sean. He's one of our back-of-house GAs. He and Way are the only people that are allowed to wear other colors in the kitchen, and that's because I need them to stand out in the instance that I would need to identify them quickly. Here in this picture, I just wanted to go over things that are not right, and then I have a couple of examples of things that are right. So if you want to take a second to look at the picture and see if you can figure out some of the things that I'm about to point out to you. The first thing here, this young lady is not wearing a hat. You can see it's tucked under her arm, but this would get us a violation if we were walked by the health code or by the health department. Although this young lady is wearing a hat, it does have a black band. You need to have a plain white hat, more like this here, still poofy. You also need to be buttoned all the way across, like it is here. Notice how both of these young ladies have their top button open, and it does not look as clean and crisp and professional as the young lady in the bottom right picture. However, the one in the bottom right, you'll notice she has piping on her jacket and black buttons. I need it to be completely white. Other rules that I have, hair needs to be pulled back out of the face, whether you're working in the kitchen or in the front of the house, and then absolutely no facial hair. When I say no facial hair, I don't mean a clean-cut beard. I mean what some people would call baby face. Absolutely no 5 o'clock shadow, even. If you forget to shave or you come in with 5 o'clock shadow, I do have some cheap razors that you can borrow. You can go into the bathroom and shave. But otherwise, you need to come in ready to go for the shift. If you go to shave and it makes you late, you would lose your timeliness points for that lab. For nails, I require that both male and female keep their nails short. They cannot extend further than the tip of the finger. That's just in case, every now and then your fingers aren't curled under like they're supposed to be when you're cutting in the kitchen and cut a little piece of fingernail off and then somebody gets it in their food. So that is a concern, and we just keep them short to prevent that. Absolutely no nail polish. That is for guys and girls. No clear nail polish. No colored nail polish. That can chip off and get into the food. Fake nails actually are porous and can harbor foodborne bacteria, and so those are not allowed. That is a health code restriction, and so we follow that in Barron's. As for jewelry, absolutely no facial piercings, no eyebrows, no noses, tongues, anything like that. For men, no earrings. Ladies, I do allow for you to wear 1 earring per ear in the lower lobe. If you're going to wear hoops, they can be no bigger than a quarter. The studs, the decoration, can be no larger than a dime in circumference. And if it's going to dangle, it can be no longer than a quarter in diameter. So if I hold a quarter up to the bottom of your ear, it shouldn't extend beyond that quarter. Earrings do need to be what I call tame, so they either need to be silver or gold or something that blends with your skin tone. No hot pink, no teal, orange, stuff like that. I do want y'all to look very crisp and clean and uniform, and when you're wearing big jewelry or brightly colored stuff, it sticks out and it just makes you stand out from the rest of the group. As for bracelets, watches, and necklaces, these are not allowed at all. If you have it tucked in and you're buttoned all the way up and I can't see it, I can't see it. But if I can see it, I will ask you to take it off. Bracelets and watches, they have small pieces that can fall into the food and become a choking hazard. So those aren't allowed. We have a clock in the kitchen and then clocks on all of our point of sale systems, so you shouldn't need them. Rings, if you're working in the kitchen, your ring has to be completely smooth. No stones, no grooves. Those can both harbor foodborne bacteria, and then stones can also fall into the food, causing a choking hazard. When you're working in the front of the house, I do allow you to wear rings that have stones or have grooves and ridges. It's not as big of a concern there since you're not handling the food directly. But if you have a ring on, the adornment on the top needs to be no larger than a dime in circumference. So just a couple more things that I like to point out, just give you some pictures of, hey, can you find what's wrong with this? Can you find what's right in some of these pictures? So one of the first things I want to point out, first again, we're not, sorry, let me go back, apologize. In the top picture here, the young girl cutting the cake actually is not buttoned all the way across, and her hair is hanging out of her cap. You can see how easily that would get into the cake there. In the bottom picture, we don't even have a hat here. And you can see again here that the hair is hanging out and could still get into the food. I don't mind sleeves rolled up just a little bit, but I don't want them rolled past the elbow. And that's just to prevent you from getting burned. There's no point in having a long sleeve jacket if you're going to roll the sleeves up. I do not allow short sleeve jackets in the kitchen. I do want your jacket to prevent you from getting burned if you were to reach in the wrong area. The picture to the right, I don't know if you know this young lady, but she has a lot of curly, long hair, and she has managed to get it completely up in the cap. She's buttoned all the way across, looks very nice, neat, very professional, very sharp. For front of house, your hair still has to be pulled away. If you'll notice, the young girl on the right here, she's got some hair hanging down in her face. What's going to happen with that is she's going to constantly be pulling it out of her way and having to wash her hands every time she touches it. So you need to find a way to make sure that it's clipped back out of the face completely. The answer to the question of, well, do I have to shave? Yes. Everyone has to shave that has facial hair. I would make all three of these gentlemen shave, even though they look handsome with their facial hair. You'll notice the top left-hand picture is Sean, our back of house GA. He can grow a very nice beard. He has to shave. If he does, so do you. The 5 o'clock shadow on the gentleman on the right looks great. He still needs to shave. He does not fit my uniform guidelines. You can see here what I was talking about with jewelry being very distracting. It prevents you from blending in with everybody else and actually makes you stand out, and that's not what uniform means. The nails in that picture are perfect. They're not too long. There's no nail polish. They're nice, neat, and clean. We've gone over the watch policy. And then just on a final note, no cell phones during lab, no gum or candy either. If you think about when you're in a restaurant and you look over and you see somebody just chomping on gum, it looks very unprofessional. As far as cell phones go, I want you to think about you're sitting there, your water glass is empty, you're really thirsty, you don't have any chips on your table, and you look over and your waiter is playing on his cell phone. How does that make you feel? I would think that it would make you kind of frustrated, annoyed. Hey, can I have your phone number so that I can text you and tell you to, hey, get me some chips and water. So we just don't allow cell phones. That being said, if you have something come up, you know that you're going to be receiving a call and you need to keep your cell phone on, or you might be answering your cell phone, just let me know in advance, and I can totally work with you on that. That's not a problem. Just give me kind of a heads up in advance. The last note on that is cell phones were tested in a food walk or a sanitation walk, and they swabbed several different things, and the cell phone came back as having the most bacteria on it. So we handle food, we serve the public. Let's just keep our cell phones in our pockets for the hours that we're in lab, and then as soon as you get out of there, you can turn them right back on. I do hope this has answered all your questions. I will be passing around a sheet where you can order what size of shirt that you want. And then, like I said, you can pre-purchase those, and I'll let you know when they're available for pickup, or you could purchase them and pick them up all at one time that last week before we open on February 5th. Again, if you have any other questions, just shoot me an email or stop by and see me. See you later this week.